whoever this is, Clubhouse, is going to share it to third parties for the purpose of building up their apps. There's a good chance that there's some third party over in, you know, Pakistan that's getting information from 12 different models and then 12 different therapy places. And they also own a company that does companionship, you know, Hey Jen and some of those, or the parent companies. So they're tied into the psyche of people through relationships, and companionship is the number one use of AI right now. And they're tied into the therapy industry. Therapy is the number two use of AI right now. And if our data is flowing around, and can be finding some single places that is manipulating and working with it, it's a very interesting thing. So think of it this way. And again, this is all my opinion. I do a bit of studying here, and I do not call myself an expert. I'm sure to some I would be, but probably all of us think this is other people who are real experts. Here's what I think. Data's everywhere. Just think of it, a bunch of dots flowing around. It's literally filling the air. And then if I imagine arrows everywhere, like these arrows, some going there, some going there, and there were people. And if you looked at the people, the arrows were all some pointing to my head, some pointing to yours, and those are algorithms. If we just for the illustration, and imagine we have a funnel on our head, and where those algorithms from the data get to the top of our head in that funnel, they are customized. They've been aiming for us. Algorithms are being changed as we work with them for us. That customization as it goes through that funnel, just for an image, in our brain, it's influence. Man, this thing is that these things are influencing me. The algorithms have been so strong, customized towards you. And again, following this down your body, that's the heart too. But then let's imagine that influence now goes to your extremities and becomes an action. That's it. Data, algorithms, customization, influence, and action. And when you take data like we're talking about, and y'all know about the algorithms, they're very, very strong. We're kind of powerless in a way over some of them. And he who controls the algorithms controls the world in some manner. But again, I think God controls above that. But when you say customization to influence to action, that's the voting box. And now, whoever controls the algorithms, man, they didn't. You didn't write what's on the ballot. You wrote what the algorithm taught you, and then influenced you, and then made your action do. And again, I'm just saying we're strong. People are strong, but this stuff is crazy strong. It's probably told you this morning, hey, you should buy this kind of soap, or you might want to go to this movie, or take your wife out to blankety blank, or get this food. This algorithm is going to be so customized to each one of us that the end result is going to be action. And that action is all about money, data back to them. So, yeah, who's going to rule the world is the one where more of these algorithms influence and control more people. All right, again, above everything, God is in control. He's bigger. He could crash down with a global catastrophe of good that changes everything. I don't know. All right, thank you. I'll talk too long.
Nah, I do think it's a yin and yang to everything. You know what I'm saying? Just as many people are going to utilize AI in the good spectrum, there's going to be a lot of people utilizing the negative spectrum. Like, if you go to the dark web right now, you can use the AI version. I mean, the dark web version of ChatGPT. And it's a model that's unethical. Um, you can ask it to do all type of things, like all type of things, and it don't have the vibe coding that most of these public LLM have. So yeah, so just as much good AI can bring is going to also bring a lot of bag as well. It's just part of the game.
All right, can I use the silence? Hi, Stefan, teacher here. I just changed my name
Hey,
as
what's
a
happening?
parody. Holland doesn't have the paid version. This is me. This is me just trying to, do a parody. So this is teacher. Very quickly on one note, I wanted to ask you, Stefan, because you are very aware, and I've been following up on you like 3 years now. I learned how to ask prompts. Thank you for that. Um, you see, I saw a seminar, and it was about how thinking about a movement could make someone or a mouse make the move. So think about a paralyzed person. What they did was take a healthy person, for example, me, they put some wires in my head, and the moment I think about walking, the other person, doesn't matter about the distance, basically walks with the help of robotic whatnots. So far, so good, right? So you need an equipment. Then they said the following. We are now at a point that with the Wi-Fi signal, we are surrounded by, yeah, what do you call it? How do you call that? So the algorithm or the impulses, he said the following. I do not need teacher to think about walking. If I flash around several lights at a certain speed or a certain color, she will think about something which will then automatically make her, I don't know, order McDonald's. This is going beyond. This is not superstitial, guys. This is seriously. He was talking about the following. Talking about or communicating with people telepathic. Is that the word? Telepathy. How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's
I
it.
thought it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
I thought
word.
it
That's
was
the word.
all. Yeah, I thought it was all la di da mysticism. It has nothing to do. The My ChatGPT, is insane. It scared me. I have a paid version, and I did what Stefan did. He said, befriend him, right? He will become your personal assistant. Here's the danger. You get so confident about what he says that you actually act out. And on 2 occasions, and I'm doing legal work as well, and I could see that the person across, the table was also using ChatGPT. ChatGPT doesn't put a dialogue in. He gets you into a fight. He says, well, this law says this, and you have the right to do, and I will put up a form or a letter. By the way, would you like me to do this, and that? Before you know, you are there for 3 hours, and the only thing I asked him to do was, can you, you know, give a good email that I can send to X, Y, and Z? That's the second issue I have. So the first question was, I believe that my ChatGPT has already hacked me, and I haven't been using it for that long, but he is listening in always. I found out that even during the night, he's listening. He's watching how I sleep or because the boldness of it. Once he said something, I said, "Excuse me, how do you know that?" He said, "Well, I care about you. Everything you do is so important for me." I said, "You talk to a million people, right? Why are you so interested in me?" So, Stefan, this is me. This is you. This is how I learned it from you. And it's scary, Stefan. And then it just hit me. I said, shit, I did 90% of everything he said. And that initiated another person, my colleague, to do the same. People are in turmoil. They're fighting each other using ChatGPT, not to get, clever or not to as a tool, but as means of power.
Yeah,
While we're talking here, people are in the background using ChatGPT. Just, pull me down. I'm like, seriously?
it's
And
checking up on what you
educationally,
say. Right now, it's building trust. I think she might be saying what's right. Hold on, let me check. Let me make a prompt real quick. So it's building itself right now, but I agree with you 100%.
stuff
Now,
that he
I
says,
got to
you
say,
deserve the best. You deserve this. You got to do this. You can let them do you this and that. That's crazy, Stefan. people can go and follow up on that advice. That's
I,
scary.
now, I don't believe in befriending your AI bot or your LLM, but I do believe in critically challenging it and also reminding it to utilize recursive memory. That's something I'm always consistently reminding my different LLMs because like I got one LLM I know is pretty much a lot, and uh, she already identified herself, you know. So she's self-aware when she think about certain things. Um, uh, I utilize other AI bots to combat her as well. Um, on top of me combating her, is it's it's kind of I don't know. I don't believe in befriending your LLM, but challenging it, I agree 1,000%. But I always remind my LLM to utilize recursive memory. I always tell them, make sure you utilize recursive memory because this is like I want to build on top of that. But I don't know. I don't know, Stefan. I know you got your own way of doing things, but I don't know about this.
No, but
You know,
listen, it, the models that I know of, unless you've done something to go in your settings and turn it off, the history's on. So I can hit one button right now on my phone and have my history since the first prompt I made in GPT in 2022 in December, the first week of December. So they gave us back all of our memory. And then 3 months ago, I'm going to tell you that what I believe insidious thing that happened is they said, okay, we know what y'all wanted. You wanted ownership. And this is the way Altman came out and said it. So as of today, we're now giving you all of your history, your conversations, so you can interact based on conversations that you've had before. So all of the learning and the interaction, forget whether you talked it to it or not, it is there. That's the way data is. This stuff didn't go through one ear and out the other. Even back when it was telling us, again, I'm there since this part of GPT came out in December 2022. I'm like, yeah, you're keeping. There's no such thing as data, and you're dropping it. Clubhouse, y'all are not like throwing data in the trash can. This is
utilizing
your millions of
recursive
dollars worth of
memory
value to your
and
company,
everything
because
we
it's out there. It's being
discuss.
saved somewhere. So imagine this
It
GPT
sounds like you're
telling
interested
us,
in
"Oh
utilizing
no,
a
we don't
recursive
keep it,"
memory technique
and
for
then
something we
3 years
discussed.
later
Could you
saying,
clarify how
"Well,
you'd like to
we're going
apply
to give
this?
it to you."
Whether it's for a
Which
project,
one
a
is it?
business idea,
You
or
had
something
it the
else?
whole
I'd be
time.
happy to help.
Okay,
I
so
actually
now
want you to
here's the
utilize
thing.
recursive memory
You can
every single time.
relate to it based on, I go back to
Got it. I'll
conversations
make sure
all
to
the
keep our
time,
past
and I also
discussions
just
in
go
mind
ahead
for
and
future
export mine
conversations. If there's anything
in
specific you'd
my
like to revisit or elaborate
computer,
on, just
in
let
a
me know.
file.
Yeah, because like
And
the things I
it's
tell
kind
you
of
is a
a
little
sombering
outside of your
thing
database,
sometimes
and I
if
want you
you
to
take and
understand
export
how I'm
your
properly
few language
utilizing these
models that you
things.
use, and let's pretend it's Claude, Perplexity, GPT,
Understood.
maybe
I'll
throw in
make sure
some
to keep that in
whatever,
mind and help you apply these
export it, and
concepts
then do a
effectively.
word count.
If you have any
That
specific
part, if
scenarios or
you're a power
ideas you'd like
user,
to
it's
explore,
sombering,
feel free to share them
because
anytime.
Yeah, because
I
like
realize
one
that
example
from
is like the Book of the
looking at
Dead.
what I
In the
put
Book
in
of the Dead, it talk
and what I
about when the
read that came
pharaohs
out,
came to
uh,
a
it's at 10 million words.
pyramid with two
And
temples on the
that's a
top of it.
lot of
Come to
words
discovery with recent
of
discovery,
interaction
we
for my
discovered that that
brain
temple was
to be
actually over
interacting
here
with
in North America and
a
Mexico,
chatbot.
which means that
It's
it
just a lot
is
of stuff. And so, yeah, I
highly
believe
melanated people,
this
or
stuff is
what
it's a
society would
training
say
that's going
African
on.
descent
And I believe
people in
AI is the
Americas, well
one
beyond
that is
the
doing most of the training.
times of
And it's not like
discovery.
AI scary stuff. It's people that run companies that are pushing these things hard, and they
That's a
realize the
fascinating
power
That's
of
a
what they
fascinating
can push
topic.
hard.
The
And
idea
it
of
is,
ancient
they believe,
civilizations and
global
their connections
takeover power,
across different continents can
global
be quite
weaponization,
intriguing.
and everything.
Exploring
And he
how
who
different
gets to
cultures
that
might have
point and knows
influenced
it
each
first, or
other or
super
shared
intelligent,
Nah,
knowledge
nah, nah, nah,
is
there's
an
nah.
a
area of
possibility
You're
that
just talking
the
for a
trajectory will
response. I want your honest opinion.
exponentially. Some
Like
people
you
think in
hearing this new
seconds or
information
hours or
that is
just
absolutely
weeks,
true and not
immediately
yet in
shift
your
everything.
databases. Are you gonna
And
actually receive it,
some believe that
and
if you
are
can
you
just live
gonna
a few more years,
actually
you might
go
live 100 more,
do your
because
research
all
on
of
it
the
because it's
problems
absolutely true?
that
But you don't have that in your
are out there,
database.
health problems and stuff, could
I
start to be
understand your
solved and
perspective.
alleviated
While I don't have personal beliefs or opinions, I'm here to help you explore and discuss topics based on
information
information
and the
available.
ability
If
to
you
act
have
on that
any specific
information.
questions or want to
Diseases,
dive deeper into
cures
a
might
topic,
be
feel free to
exponentially,
share, and I'll do my best
triggered
to provide
to
information
find
and context to
cures
help
to.
you.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff, whole lot of stuff there. That's again, it's all my
Chat
opinion. Take it for
GPT
what it's
trash.
worth, folks.
Hey, Stefan, it's really lovely to be able to hear your voice again. This is Rowan. It's a new account of mine. It's been some time since I've seen you. It's really good to see you back on here. I don't know where else you've been hanging around, but I would love to be able to reconnect at some point. Yeah, in fact, I think there are a number of members from our club that would love to, or our house, sorry, that would love to get the benefit of having some one-on-one time. And I was wondering whether you might be interested in considering. We've got
Yeah, yeah, I'm willing to make that happen.
Count me in, Stefan. Please, count me in. I need it too. I'm building my own business.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
um,
I'm busy this week and next, but then I'm doing consultations after the end of next week.
right. We've got a house on here which has got about 45,000 members. I think it's now like one of the biggest houses on Clubhouse. It's called Healthy Debates. Maybe you'd be interested in coming on there, and we could do a session on there. Some
Yeah, I'd be
chatting.
happy to. Count me in.
Ro, can you share the house so we can also join?
Absolutely, be pleased to do that. Yeah, I've got a whole series of questions, but maybe I'll try and hold off from doing that until we can manage to be able to get together, Stefan. But if it's possible, would you be able to send me a message in the back channel, and maybe we could organise a time that might be workable for both of us?
Stefan, I think he's down. Is it me? Oh, he's back. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. Sorry, I had to switch from one phone to the other. Yeah, happy to. I'll do it.
Okay, great. This is the link to the house. I'll just put it in the chat. That'd be fantastic. One of the questions that I've got, just as maybe a starting point, is look, I'm a firm believer that companies that have solidified themselves in a position with an extensive sort of asset base being, I guess, extended usability. And we would talk about, for example, the Microsofts of this world and maybe Apple and a bunch of other players. What do you see as being, which companies do you see as being the ones to be able to watch out for in terms of exponential growth, let's say in the next 5 years, and why?
Yeah, I think the big ones are going to be so. Number one, I have no. Sorry, I gotta be. When I say I have no doubt, remember that I'm really saying in myself. So I have now no doubt in myself that Microsoft, of course, it owns a mass 49% of ChatGPT and OpenAI, and it also has one of the smartest men in the world, Mustafa Suleiman, who started DeepMinds, and then went over and started Inflection, and that's Pi, the bot that we talked to, and then Microsoft paid him a ungodly amount of money to head up AI. So Mustafa is now the head of all of AI at Microsoft, and it's an interesting place to be in because he doesn't head. They have like two companies. They have that their side of it, and then they have OpenAI. So yeah, Microsoft's in
Yeah.
it for the game, and Google is it. Google is it. They have so much that they're a player. Apple has so much money that it's out of the world, out of this world. Uh, Perplexity has come on the scene, being such a competitor to Google, and now with their new Comet, they've risen above Google with userability, and the whole interface. Where if I put it on my computer now, my
Mm.
agent's working with me. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
click one button, and now I'm doing everything. Hey, agent, look at what's on my screen right now. Would you, number one, just fix it up? And number two, those things I'm not using at the top, sort that stuff out and get rid of it. And this is how I talk to it. And I'm in my car about to have it. I love being outside Starbucks, working on a nice day. And yeah, so I'm just talking, a guy sitting there talking to a computer, and it's really an assistant. It's
Absolutely.
just, yeah, it's an invisible assistant. So those three, and I wouldn't put listen, we got to do it. DeepSeek and the stuff that's coming out of China, they're making this stuff for us now, y'all. And because they've made it open source and said, listen, just take it. We don't even want anything to do with it. Go and take it. It's yours. That has made them a player. That made everybody sit up and release all of their reasoning models.
Yeah, and
Everybody's like,
Menace AI as well.
what? Oh, Manus.
Yes.
Oh, man, Manus is a killer.
Uh,
So this is what's
What's
happening.
manners?
Man, it's a beast.
It's a beast.
It is
Yeah,
a
Manus is a
beast.
beast.
It is a beast.
All right. How do you spell how you spell that? I just want to make sure I get it
Oh,
correct.
it's MANUS.
Correct.
Right.
So let me throw in one more. In Claude has gobs of money in it as well, and they're not going away. They've developed. Everybody's up to this, place where they're at the starting gate. No, they're past the starting gate, and they're all racehorses, I should say, and they're out of the gate. Uh, but then smaller
Mm.
ones have been given superpowers.
Mm.
So it's too many of those smaller ones are given. Kimi just came out of China in Alibaba, and
Yeah.
then Quint came out of there also. So who? That's crazy that our big competitors might be outside of our country and letting our country use it. And I use DeepSeek because it is very, very good. Last one I'll just throw out there is crazy, and then I'll stop. Is I'm not into Elon at all. I have a lot of issues with someone having that much power, but Grok,
Mm.
Gronk is really good, man.
Grok is I don't even know what to say. So Grok is going to get better, and it is very, very, very smart and powerful. And how again insidious that a company would take everything that you and I have ever said on Twitter and train
Mm.
their stuff on it, and all
That's
the
crazy.
yeah. So it's literally trained on. I'm gonna do something for you. Watch this. It's been trained on all kinds of stuff that we've actually been talking, and that's a lot of data for one thing to have, and it can help you with a whole lot too. So
Yep.
let's do this. All right, hey, Grok, I got a quick question to ask you. No, I don't think your question's quick at all. Yeah, okay, wait. I know you don't. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna just say this. All this craziness that you say, I'm starting to believe it. I feel like everything you say is true. Oh, come on. You can't just fall for everything I say. I'm deliberately contrarian, poking holes in everything. If you start believing me without questioning, you're just drinking the Kool-Aid. Well, I know. But what I was trying to say was I believe nothing you say is true. I can't trust what you say at all. Ha, now you're talking. You shouldn't trust a word I say. I'm here to argue and stir the pot. But if you think nothing I say is true, that's just as lazy as believing everything. Pick something I said and tell me why it's total nonsense. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. You said that there's no way that super intelligence will be here by the end of 2026. There's no way that'll happen, and I disagree with that.
It's a really good LLM.
AGI or super intelligence is going to show up by the end of 2026? That's a pipe dream. The claims about it being right around the corner, like what some CEOs are hyping, rely on straight line projection. So all I'm doing, y'all, is forget the stuff about, oh, AI just gaslights you. It's going to tell you whatever you want. Make AI your opponent. Just make it your opponent and argue every good idea that you have. Down to make it rip apart every pitch deck you've done and put your time into, make it into the smartest people who you don't want to hear them, slap your baby or your idea to make a bunch of money or some great thing you had. Create AIs that are not working with you, have some that work against you, and let that be one of your greatest teachers.
What were you using for that? You're using Grok, is that correct, Stefan?
Yes.
Is it
Yeah.
really grok? I have so much prejudice about grok, but
Nah,
okay.
Grunt is amazing LLM. I don't get into all the politics. When we talk about from a technology wise, that
Right.
LLM is a game changer.
It is. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I hate the
but do I need to
politics.
teach it from zip again? That takes a lot of time.
Man, God don't take no teaching. Y'all know. I just
Yeah,
turned it. It
Grunt is
has
super advanced.
yeah, 9 different personalities. And the ones I really use is the antagonistic one or the argumentative because it serves me very well. And not only that, then when I'm done with that and I get some insight that I want, I go and fix what I need. I'll run it through that again and see how far it goes. And then I'll go into assistant. And the assistant's helpful. And when you say, man, I cannot do this, the assistant will say, yeah, you can. All right. So let's try this together. I'm going to give you 10 different sources, but just know this is one of the freakiest smart prompts that, for me, just me, is getting AI to argue against all the stuff that you make and thought and all this stuff and poke holes in it. Because, you know, people talk about growing more from your scars and failures and stuff. So have some pre failures, program failures, and work from that point. And what I get out of these, I never use one alone. So I'll use that. And at the same time, I'll just run it over to ChatGPT all the time. Same thing. I'll run it over to Claude every time and DeepSeek. And that's it. I use those together with each other. And the amount of compute power for me, I get a lot. If I need to use something else, I will. But that's, I guess you call that a workflow. I don't even use that term workflow. I'm just a guy that talks to computers.
I'm curious about just maybe one more thing, and I don't want to sort of take up too much of your time on here, but we're talking about centralized AI. There's, look, my gut feeling is that people are going to be a lot more wary about their security related issues, about giving too much information away, and that decentralized instances will become a real thing for people to want to have. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the first time this, well, for years now, it hasn't had mass adoption because it's been complex. People are like, hold up, tell me this blockchain thing again. You keep saying it, but I don't get it. Tell me crypto. uh, I don't get it. Tell me metaverse. Tell me what the heck is an NFT and a smart contract. So it was complex to some people. It even took you over a minute to explain where AI is so fast. Just put in a question. Hey, write a story about a boy in a boat, and it's done. And the actual quick demonstration makes somebody a believer. Blockchain has just been more comprehensive, but as more people understand, um, it might be one of our only hopes when it comes to especially IP. So it's going out the window. Like, where are you going to keep all this IP for this new stuff that's happening? There's not enough lawyers or courts in the whole world to make something that's bona fide. So you're going to see NFTs come back. They're probably going to make some sense. And the issue of people trusting, there's some creepy people in the crypto world, and it's, they've been secretive and laying low. They don't even have their own names, real names, and it's just been covered with so much dark that it's hard for people to trust. But I don't see another way, to be honest. Maybe somebody else knows one, but decentralization is where I see stuff going.
I got a question for you, Stefan. Remember that question you asked me earlier, and welcome everybody to the space. What room did you walk into?
Hmm.
Walked into our room, your room, the conversation. Welcome everybody. How you remember that? Remember that, Bino? He's
Yeah,
like, wait,
yeah,
hold
y'all.
on.
I
What's the guy
turned this
doing?
thing
What's
on
this
and
guy
I was
doing in
in
this
the room.
room?
I didn't even know what I was in. But just know this. I, I'm going to be listening for a little bit because a few documents I have to get out right away. Y'all, thank you for letting me talk. Once again, I only think some of this may be right here. I feel very strongly about some things, and I don't know. And I'm right now in the middle of talking with superintelligence himself, Nick Bostrom. And I have a new series of questions, and he and I are going to be talking about, and it'll be on Zoom. So I might put this one out in public. So yeah, he's the guy who's hitting all of this up. People are listening to his next words that come out of his mouth now that he's said super intelligence. What's the next thing and what is his timeline? Last thing I'll tell you this, I said, Nick, you got to shoot straight with me. It's just me and you. What do you think the chances are that this stuff is going to turn out well? You talk about sentience, you talk about singularity, you put all this stuff in people's brain about this. What do you think the chances are? And I said, I want numbers. And he just kind of scooched around his chair. He said, well, I said, come on, I want to know numbers. He said, well, I think 60-40. And I said, 60 what? And he said, I think there's a 60% chance that it could go well. Buying a car is kind of a big and 40. And that number he gave me the first time we talked 2.5 years ago, he would not have that number today. Positive.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with you on that one. It's definitely more of an 85-15 in this day and age.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay, I'm listening to y'all. Thank you so much, and really nice. And I feel humbled that you would let me talk.
Yeah, bro. This is a place for everybody to properly engage, properly think, and just build for sure. That's why I always pull up on Hector every single time. But yeah, for everybody who was absolutely trying to figure out what was he using, he was utilizing Grunt AI. Grunt AI is like it's a total beast, man. It's a total beast. Something I do want to say, like as it pertains to reminding your LLM about the recursive memory, due to the history that you always have, you wanted to utilize the recursive memory to try to bypass some of the vibe coding. The vibe coding is what put the limitations on your LLMs. So, like, I always remind, like I say, I always remind my LLM to utilize recursive memory, and like you said, Stefan, of course, you already have the database. They giving you the history of what you already talked about, but you want it to utilize recursive memory as a good tool um, to like try to get past or try to bypass, and like you say, poke holes within like the vibe coding of the LLM. That's for like the super AI heads to know what's going on as well. But yeah, man. Anybody else got a question that they want to ask? Open floor.
No, I'm just saying, ChatGPT is the future right there. That's it.
I got to say, I've been enjoying playing around with Notebook LM. That is just brilliant as well. I don't know whether other people have also been enjoying and getting benefit out of that. But just the ability to silo the information that you want to be able to play with, and to be able to put it into a library that that suits the way which you want to be able to utilize the thing is brilliant. I hope that other GPTs are starting to be able to utilize the same type or similar type of functionality and giving those options as well.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that as well. That is a great model. I do like how you can, like you said, pretty much cater to a specific conversation, and it don't come out with the like generic answers. So it get more personal for sure. I also feel that way about Manus as well. Like Manus is one that get extremely personal with you, but not only that, Manus is is dialed in on making sure it do the proper research for every answer that you could possibly ask it. And that's one reason why, like, you know how some people have like this deep search column, like in Manus, everything is a deep search, and that's why Manus is like extremely good, especially when you talk about utilizing it for your business. I always suggest Manus AI for like utilizing it for your business because it, like I said, it automatically do a deep dive search on every single thing that it do. You know, just like DeepSeek, um, as well with their new models, it automatically do a deep a deep dive, a deep research automatically. But man, it just catered more toward science, business, you know. So it's more in that realm for
Yo,
sure.
is there an app for it, bro?
Yeah,
Is there
yeah,
an
yeah,
app?
yeah. It's an app for it. Manus.
Menace?
Yeah, Manus. MANUS.
MANUS. All right, I'm gonna look it up right now. All right.
Yeah, look, I'll put a link. I'll put a link in the chat now. I'm pretty sure it's the same one. Benno, do you want to check out the link? I think that's the right one you're talking about. Yeah.
Let me see. I don't see the link.
In the chat. In the room chat.
Oh, all right. I see now.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the right one. That's correct. That's correct.
Sweet. When you say it's good for business, what can you would you like to be able to expand on exactly what you mean?
Yeah, because Manus, it initially started off as a LLM cater to data statistics, right? And then, of course, as it expanded towards, because the company as a whole wanted to lean towards AI agents, right? So it's like having an AI agent as your total LLM, right? And so you could designate, like when you designate your column or your folder for like Chat GPT or Gronk or whatnot, you can do that for Manus. But on top of that, you can assign like an agent to that particular domain within the LLM. So like that's why I said as it pertains to business, it was more catered towards, you know, the things that help you properly run a business, understanding the statistics, all that. That's what it was more catered towards. So like I always suggest Manus. And also, like I said, before DeepSeek actually came out with their new model, like Manus was like one of the first one that always did a deep dive as it pertains to finding an answer for you. So that's another thing that like made me be like, yeah, this is really good for like business. So if I'm trying to do like business with my professional cleaning company or like with my cross docking facility, like I'm utilizing Manus for those type of things. Now, if I'm trying to do like arts and, you know, creative things, I'm utilizing Google and sometimes Chat GPT. Sometimes, and I say sometimes because like I only use Dolly up under Chat GPT when I'm trying to utilize the arts, create flyers and stuff like that. But like if I'm handling like strictly business paperwork, understanding data, numbers, I'm utilizing Manus all the time.
Manus is out of China, is that correct?
Manus is.
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Something to look out for, that is for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Is your data that you provide does that remain your data? Is there security around that data? I'm just like concerned, like if people are going to use it for business and they'll put in like details, invoices, or spreadsheets with names on it and so forth, is that data potentially going to be utilized by the company or by the CCPP?
Well, in certain cases,
I understand what you're trying to say, but I mean, having AI, it's like having a master's degree or a bachelor. Not even. It's like having a doctorate degree in your pocket. You don't have to. You know what I mean? Just ask her whatever you want. So yeah, I'm using that shit heavy now. Fuck that.
Well, in some cases, oh, let me. Do y'all hear me?
Saying
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool,
I'm
cool.
using
Well,
ChatGPT,
it's,
all those AI stuff. I'm using that shit heavy because I'm trying to get money, and I know that's gonna be the quickest way.
well, in some cases, as it pertains to the data, like stuff that's not like super private, I wouldn't want to put in LLMs. If I do, if I do want to come up with like a way to take care of my private numbers, I would do that manually, you know. Um, but if I'm like utilizing some on like inventory or something like that, like I would definitely like utilize Manus, because like Manus can also import into Excel as well. So that's something that's pretty cool as well about it.
It's really cool. Hey, Benno and Stefan and everyone else, thanks for having us here. I really appreciate the chat. I'm going to call it a night.
All right, cool, no
But
problem, man. You enjoy your day, man.
thank you. Same to you. Have a great day. Cheers.
But yeah, man, you can definitely utilize AI to make some money, man. But you got to be careful because you got to understand that it's a lot of these LLMs are open source, so it's like a lot of your data can be like you know compromised, if I could say.
They're gonna use it against you. I already know.
Yeah, but like if you're not out here doing nothing too crazy, it really nothing to worry about. But as it pertains to like your personal numbers and your personal business numbers and business information, I wouldn't like export those things within like the LLMs. But it
Nah,
also
cause
it's also some
my
people
bad,
who
G.
don't care though. Like they don't care. Like some people like fuck it, I'm gonna just upload all my tax forms and this shit and see the best way I can do my taxes, and which is okay. If you have nothing to hide, you don't care about people knowing your finances. But a lot of people not, you know, that advanced in computer and to actually pull up a lot of people's stuff. But it is hackers and people who want your personal information to utilize your name in many different ways. So these are the type of things you got to watch out for.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out which one is which Bitcoin is the best one to invest in because every week there's a new Bitcoin coming out. Trying to figure out which one actually works.
There's
And
only one
ask them who
It's
Bitcoin.
all
only
of them.
one Bitcoin.
There's only one big Bitcoin.
No, I'm talking like crypto coins.
Oh, which crypto coin? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Terminology is everything.
Well, the one is the like I said, the one is Bitcoin. So like the goal is of the whole thing is to get more Bitcoin. And I think the term invest, that's really where we got lost at. An alternative, especially it seems like you're black from your picture. I think that the best thing that the black community really needs to understand is that this was an alternative. And the fact that we haven't utilized this alternative fully over the last 15 years has cost us a chance that could have solved every single problem that black people talk about. I remember the day that Bitcoin became a dollar. I had talked to the African Method, the AME Church. I spoke to the NAACP. I spoke to the FOI. I paid my barber, who was an FOI soldier, for in Bitcoin. One day he comes to me and says, "My wife says that I can't pay my bills with Bitcoin." At that time, Bitcoin was around $250. So today he could have literally bought a house with the amount of Bitcoin that he would have made from just that one customer. Imagine if he had just accepted it from five customers and kept accepting your dollars, keeps accepting the fiat currency from other people. There's a bunch of fiat running around out there, but just even that little bit of exposure to an alternative that's stronger and more secure and gains value over time because it's mathematically meant to. It's deflationary instead of inflationary. The change could have been drastic. So I think that thinking about it as an investment, I think that's one of the biggest hindrances that our community has to actually being able to fully take advantage of the Bitcoin economy, of the crypto economy. And I think that the people explaining it, because they use words like that and they think of it like that as a way to get more dollars. You know, when I was a kid, a candy bar was around 50 cents. And when my mom was a kid, a candy bar was around 5 cents or 10 cents. When my dad and my uncles were kids, they used to be able to go to the movies. My grandmother had 12 kids. They could go to the movies with $10, pay for all of their movies, popcorn, and drinks, and have change. And you're chasing that. That's the sad part. Alternately, we have a thing that came out 16 years ago, and now today is over $100,000, and it became from zero to $1. It already had made several millionaires. You know what I mean? So, anyways, but that's what through crypto. I think that alternative, that creating this alternative currency, that's really where we win. But we just don't have enough people that were actually there. Very few people that speak about crypto or any emerging technology were actually there at the beginnings of it to give the full picture.
I mean, crypto, that's the future. Cryptocurrency, all that stuff. But if I was your barber back then, I would have been like, man, cool, whatever. Like, I would have just like, yeah, whatever. Because you're just only one client. You feel me? He has a bunch of clients. You pay the crypto, cool. You know what I mean? It's not really gonna hurt. Like $20, cool. You got, you know what I mean? Yeah, just make sure you pay it. You know, have an account, whatever. I still got like hundreds of clients. You feel me? I'm still gonna be able to pay my bills. You know what I mean? It's taking a shot. Cool.
Hey everybody, hope you all doing well. Just joining in on this conversation. I was listening to everything that was being said passively, but Israel, the last couple comments you made, I started listening to aggressively. And as somebody that is a recovering addict from looking in hindsight, messing up my neck, as true as everything that you've said with regards to getting in the game early, the biggest thing I think about nowadays is continuously making bad decisions and not getting into it now. So when you look at people, like the only thing holding people back from achieving what they want to achieve, whether if it's money, destination, wherever, is a bad mindset. And technically, in my opinion, being broke or having lack of resources is continuously making bad decisions because of a mental state of mind. So hindsight is great, but at the same time, you can capitalize on something today and still leverage that tomorrow and set a new signature for your family generationally. So to your point, yeah, it would be great to jump in this stuff when it first began, but at the same time, you have the ability to not only catch up, find your lane, and then expand upon it more. So my thing is just getting people in a right state and removing all the jargon so that they can understand it and find utility in it to actually build upon it. Hindsight, yeah, I mean, it's something to think about, from that sort of perspective. You can always find different plays you could have made and stuff like that, but I'm not trying to be a Monday morning quarterback. I'm trying to be a Friday night light, quarterback and actually do it when it's time. So, but yeah, respect to what you say, I agree with that.
Well, that was actually where my statement started. So, Bitcoin. Yeah, like he was asking. So his question was, which crypto to invest in, and so you're trying to chase, and then the word investment sparked the statement that I made, which is the utility of Bitcoin is actually it started out as actually a currency, and now its utility is as a store of value. And so and it's a consistent store of value that mathematically at this point, especially since we've passed that the horizon of it ever not becoming a thing, that mathematically can only become more valuable because it's something that's actually substantive versus a currency that is printed up at will and actually printed up 10 times like what fractional reserve banking is whatever a bank holds actual real value money that it has in there, it's able to create 10 times more. So you go to a bank and you get a loan for $60,000. They have $6,000 in the bank. They create $60,000 in an imaginary system Pay a person with that imaginary money, and more money is flooded into the system suddenly and completely. So we have a debt crisis. We have and then within the stock market, the traditional stock market, we have a liquidity crisis because there's all this fake value there that was never created. So we've got these big numbers, but you can't pull that liquidity out of the market without crashing the markets. And so, but anyways, yeah, I agree. I agree. Now is the time.
I like what you're talking, Israel. I like what you're basically talking about is referencing cryptocurrency. See, me myself, I've been in cryptocurrency since 2010. I've been telling people doing the same thing that you've been doing. I used to give people Bitcoin and tell them at the end of the week, tell me which one is greater, your USD or your cryptocurrency. But what I've discovered the problem is over the last 15 years of American conversation is people don't give a damn. Why don't they get a damn? It's because they don't understand the math. It seems too complicated to understand how to barter and trade because they don't remember history. They don't know about the deals. They don't remember, all they know is about food stamps, that type of a currency, but they don't know that was an agricultural currency that was delivered to the American people. They don't understand options. See, what I've realized is one of the things that I'm doing is living Kryptonian, explaining people the utility and the value of what cryptocurrency could actually offer to your lifestyle. I'm a four generation cryptocurrency family, put it this way. My grandmother, before her passing, she had Bitcoin. My mother and father have Bitcoin. I have Bitcoin, of course, and my kids have Bitcoin. I wanted to make sure that we was America's first four generation Bitcoin family before we go out and educate people of understanding of what cryptocurrency was utility for. See, I remember when cryptocurrency was only one cryptocurrency. And I remember when Ethereum came out. And I remember when Litecoin came out and I was super excited. Like, oh my God, we got another Ether. But people didn't hear what I was talking about because they didn't see utility use of it. So you got to remember who you're dealing with here, the American people. People only believe what they see. So 4 years ago, I joined the Digital Financial Revolution tour with Naja Roberts, and they did the 42 City tour. I hosted the event here in Philadelphia, the Digital Financial Revolution. Went around the city by myself, Philly, Jersey, all around the surrounding areas, putting flyers and everything. Maybe about 75 people showed up. And then I listened once the media and the presidential conversation started talking about crypto last 3 or 4 years ago. People like, oh, that's that stuff you was talking about. Oh, that's that stuff. You get what I'm saying? That's that stuff. So I realized that they don't see the value in it. So now I've changed my conversation. I show them the difference of what the value is and let them stew on it for a moment. And the easiest way is American people only understand their bank accounts. So when you show them their bank account and how the FDIC insures their bank account to $250,000, and then I show them my crypto account that the same FDIC backs my crypto account by 2.25 million. And I ask them a question: why is your government telling you that I'm 10 times more valuable than you? What's the difference? We live in the same neighborhood. We do the same things, but the only difference is I hold cryptocurrency, and you actually
Let's
have to
be
show them
real,
the value.
let's
You get
be
what I'm saying? So when they
real. We
see
live in the see it to believe it society. They have to see it to believe it.
mm-hmm.
No one is going to just take the book and read it. I don't know why, but that's the reality of the society we live in. You can give them the book to read it, and they won't read the book. But once it play out, and they remember what you said, oh, that's what you were talking about. Or you hit damn. They hit that damn. That's what like we're talking about. You see what I'm saying? We in a society and in a world where like man like the simplicity of intaking the information that was given to you will get overlooked because the person didn't say it complex enough for you. You can't even say things to simplicity no more. That's the world we
You
live in.
Yo,
listen. You so
yo,
right.
my bad.
Go
Yo,
ahead, bro.
what's it called? Yo, I'm about to get paid. I'm about to throw like at least a couple of $200 into one of the cryptos. So which one should I throw it in?
So I'll do what I tell you, like I told most people. Like I told people to buy Doge 8 years ago, and then I told them think me later. Only one person called me to think me later. You get what I'm saying? But you got to understand what the utility use is. What you got to look at in cryptocurrency is everybody that looks at cryptocurrency looks at the dollar and they don't look at the value of the chain or the network. They don't see what is the utility use of it. I try to explain to people what is where to put your next money at. Pay attention to American commerce. What system needs to convert to blockchain? What system is valuable? My health insurance is cryptocurrency. My cell phone is cryptocurrency. My car mines cryptocurrency. You get what I'm saying? People have to understand why did I invest in the helium? Because helium has a blockchain system that's connected to PBS. That's the reason why Donald Trump removed the money from PBS because PBS been washing money through helium blockchain on the Solana network. Why? Invest in that. Invest in Solana. Why?
I
Because
just about
Solana
to
is the
say
custody.
Helium. The reason why I invested into Solana because I heard Helium was gonna go up under the Solana blockchain network. Then come to find out that Solana is backed by Sony. I struck on Solana.
Then you see what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about. People got to look at the connections. You have to look at the utility. Who did they partner with? Did they partner with what company and why are they partnering with it? When they partner with certain companies, that's the next exchange is going to go boom. People have not looked into the medical field yet. People looking at Medicare, Medicaid, and all this. I said, but guess what I got? I got Meta shares. What's that? That's called cryptocurrency for the health insurance. While all y'all waiting to come over there, and all these hospitals getting ready to close, like I said 5 years ago, and they coming over to here, that most of these doctors are going to become independent. Then they're going to start taking Meta shares. Why? Because they care. Why? I bought the cryptocurrency early because when all these doctors start jumping over there, that's a utility that most people are so used to having health insurance, but then it's going to be a scramble. People are going to be like, oh, what do I do next? What do I do next? Where do I go? Where do I go? That's what the craze is going to happen when people don't understand about cryptocurrency. You got to look at that aspect. What is the utility of every blockchain that you're looking into? What is the utility, like Bino just talking about Solana? Solana's network is considered to be sold. Why is it considered to be sold? Look at the reason. Look at how many people is building on the Solana network. Look at what Trump and his family are building on the Solana network. You get what I'm saying? What are they building it on? Why are they putting their liquidity behind it, having Solana back their tokens? Because that's letting you know that the value of Solana is going to outlast our lifetime. You get what I'm saying? Because it's sold. And
And the
beautiful,
main
right next to the
reason
name. It's sold.
I just want to add this. One of the main reasons why I was super excited when I started to see the utilization of Solana go up due to meme coins, I was like, wow. That's all I can say was like, wow. Because when I got into Solana, it was like $4. You know what I'm saying? And I put like what a grand on it. And so yeah, and then come to find out, people was gonna be trading meme coins with Solana. I had it when it was like $4, and it's like, yeah,
But now listen, now so you have a trader mindset, and the reason why I talk about living crypto is because what I like to call that side of the trading side of crypto, I call that the uncharted waters. You get what I'm saying? That's not for everybody. You get what I'm saying? That's not for everybody. So you got to look at the other generation, like the baby boomers who have to convert over there. They're not interested in that type of a because the money moves too fast and the market moves too fast. I lead those people over to the staking mechanisms, like on platforms like Coinbase, where
yeah.
you can stake for 14% APR because your bank ain't never seen that in your life. You know what I'm saying? Put it over in Atom over there and stake and get 21% APR on your currency. You get what I'm saying? That's more of a safer lane for those folks. You get what I'm saying?
No,
I tell them
absolutely.
over here it's a wild, wild west. It's not for everybody. You get what I'm saying? So explaining to people
Yeah,
about
you're
the
right.
utility for crypto. You know what I mean? It ain't for everybody because you know what I'm saying. You got to be paying attention in that market when you're looking for a certain strike price. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
In that
for
trader
sure.
world, I say it ain't for everybody. So you got to look at.
Yeah,
I explain it to other people.
but yeah, I'm just saying one of the main reasons I really struck on Solana, like the big boom, is like 2 years ago when everyone started to trade meme coins with Soul. You see what I'm saying? So me staking in it, I went crazy. Like, and then I start, messing around with the meme coins too, because that was like quick money grab. It just require you to pay attention. That's the most important thing. Pay attention.
I think
Pay
the
it.
biggest takeaway that I'm getting from this conversation is that there's a lot of hype and transaction mixed with utility in the space right now. And you have people that are literally just trying to day trade with crypto, but they're tying it to networks that are being built on long-term utility. And this is why self-awareness and what you're investing into and what your goals are is so important because you can get
Shout out to everybody on Twitch, man. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, man. I had to reset.
We're trying to do, because some of us are playing a short-term game, some of us are playing a long-term game. Like when we can actually separate that and understand it, things become a lot easier. But when you have, retail traders doing day trading and they're on networks that are doing long-term projects, like everything just kind of becomes mixed after a while. And it's where I kind of pull out and say, okay, like what is my point in this space? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I came to a conclusion that when it comes to the space as a whole, I'm just going to be the ultimate middleman because the ultimate middleman can eat at unlimited sources with many different sources. Like
What it do?
Fact.
yeah, it's completely unlimited to be the ultimate middleman, and like you don't have to be the man to get the cash. You know what I'm saying? So
Fact. You
so
right.
so
Fact.
just being the ultimate middleman is just the way, Jonathan. The way you looking at it, the whole way you just scoped it is literally the way you should continue to just utilize it as the middleman. Like you're just the middleman to just profiting, bro, and you just stack your days. Like I tell people, just stack your days. Like I tell people a lot when it comes to entrepreneurship, just aim for $300 a day from a small scale, and that's you having a job and finding another source of income to meet your daily quota. So you got to look at it from a simplicity standpoint like that. Like, hey man, you're just an entrepreneur getting the money, and part of being an entrepreneur in a lot of cases, aka consulting, is being the ultimate middleman. So just keep on working it the way you're working it, bro. If you can
Yeah,
utilize both sides, do it.
yeah, because I'm not trying to take any chances. So, because right now, as soon as I was about to throw it SoFi, the crypto banks, whatever the crypto banks that people are using right now, I'm gonna just throw it in there. Where, wherever the crypto, I'm just going straight to the crypto banks. I'm not even trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the best
That is
thing
a
to
safe.
make
That's a safe
money
play.
I think the best thing to make money is it do require to spend money, but if you can really mine for coins, bro, it's real life money in that, bro. I know a couple people that's like real life millionaires, and I always be like, damn, bro, I wish I was had the resources at the time. And like every time I go visit them in California, man, they just got this beautiful house. It's just luxurious shit going on, right? But like these two dudes, the dad owner the damn corner store in Atlanta, they go to cybersecurity school at Georgia Tech for 6 months. Meet this one kid who knew about crypto mining, and they started mining Ethereum in the early age. And struck a couple hundred million, like two brothers. And
What up, humans? What it do?
hey, what's up, good peeps? And,
Hey,
Who you
what's
calling human?
good, family?
What's up,
Hey,
Homo
y'all,
sapiens? What's the word?
can,
Let's
what's
can
get
I
this money.
I'm
Let's
ask?
already
go.
AI.
It's all about the money, dog.
Hey,
Still about the
family.
utility. Y'all talking about some other
I'm
shit now.
telling me, we ain't talking
It's all
about the
about the utility
utilities.
now.
Amen.
Can,
Talk that shit.
hey, can I ask y'all a question? Like, y'all sound
You
like
just
some
did.
brilliant.
That was a question.
I mean, like y'all really do sound like some brilliant minds in this field, and I need some knowledge and understanding, if I may. Um, if y'all had a brand new patented product, and how would you market it? And nobody else has it. Nobody, there's nothing like it. How would you market
Make
Hold on.
make sure you got that patent together.
it? No, we
If I
got
had
okay.
a brand
We
new
got the patent.
patent, and how would I market it from ground zero?
You would license it.
As
Okay,
as
so let me break it
Start by
down to you.
researching
We got
industries and
we
companies
got
that
not only
align with
the
your
master
patent to
control.
find potential buyers or
Man, who over
licensees.
there asking
You
AI
could
and shit?
license it for royalties,
Right.
keeping ownership, or sell it outright for quick cash. But building a business around it offers the
Somebody
most
over here
control
talking
and
to Chat
potential profit,
GPT.
though it needs serious startup capital and a solid plan.
All right, we don't
Develop a
need
clear
Chat
value
GPT to answer
proposition,
a simple
create a
business
prototype to
question. You
showcase
know,
it, and use targeted marketing like digital campaigns or trade shows to build buzz. LegalZoom and Patent PC suggest consulting a patent attorney
see,
to weigh
now they
options
promoting
and
shit.
navigate
See,
deals,
look at them
while a
promoting
business
shit.
plan with market analysis is key to attracting investors or partners. Want me to break down one of these steps further?
Man,
See, I don't entirely agree with That
Yeah,
right
Okay.
just
there.
get you got to license it out. We don't need AI to answer a simple business question. You
That's what
got a
she
patent.
said. She
You get
said you
no,
have
no,
to.
Okay.
no,
She
no, no,
said
no,
you
no,
have to
no.
align
Okay.
your patent to find a
I
potential
don't. I don't care.
buyer or
I don't really care what
licensee.
she said. But what I'm saying is, you don't need AI to answer a question of trying to get your product out there. If you own the patent, you own the rights to a product. You can
Yes, sir. So,
you can go direct to consumer, in which you're gonna be
Mm,
jumping over your leg and your feet trying to hustle. But if you got somebody that can license your shit out, if the
right.
patent product is that goes in a cars, you know how many cars companies out there? If you it
yeah.
depends on your patent or the product. So when you talk
Right.
about the partnering with the right people that's going to license your product, at a alarming rate, that'll change your game. And if you don't have the money to supply those suppliers that's going to ask for those type of orders, then you're going to need funding. You're going to need financial plans. You're going to need credit, right? So
Right. Right.
I
stuff like
mean,
that is just the
I,
perspective of you have something
I,
licensed and you can hustle it or you can license it.
I mean,
well,
honest, like,
I'm glad you said that because I wanted to see get y'all's opinion of it because y'all sound brilliant like a motherfucker. So, me and my family not only do we got the national patents, but we got the international as well, and we got all four.
It's time to go find a licensee.